How is personal development linked to psychology? This is such an interesting question. And I think for some people it boils down to, is personal development the same thing as therapy? Now, psychology is the general study of how your mind works. Coaching, personal development, these are all potential ways that you might access the principles of psychology to move yourself forward with whatever it is you're trying to accomplish in your mental health, in your relationships, in the way that you function from day to day. I'm going to make a bold statement about the relationship between psychology and personal development by saying that psychology is the operating system for personal development. And I'm going to share a model with you today that is so powerful in helping us to understand how to operate the equipment of our own mind. This is a game changer. So listen up. Psychology isn't just for diagnosing problems. It's the science of how we think, feel, and act. How we show up determines our results. So psychology becomes a very important element in everything else that we experience. Personal development is about upgrading your own operating systems. It's about creating better results for you and for those around you. What we believe and what we focus on determines what we create. I know one of my colleagues used to say it this way: what we think about, we bring about. What we focus on, we feel. I mentioned earlier a model. This is the positivity model. The short version, this is the operating instructions for the equipment of your own mind. When you're working with a coach or someone who's assisting you with their personal development, ask them if they know about this model. Certified positivity practitioners know and understand this model so that they can help their clients master the operation of the equipment of their own mind. If you'd like to have a full color PDF copy of that model, I've got you. Just go to the URL on the screen right now, drpauljenkins.com. That's my name, drpauljenkins.com, spelled with a DR, /the model, all one word, and I'll put that right in your inbox, along with a little description of what the model is all about. It's not the purpose of this video to get into the details about the model. I've got some other videos about that. But when it comes to personal development, this is the operating system. This model allows us to identify specific processes that are going on in our mind all the time, and we can't turn them off, that determine all of our outcomes. When I started my career as a professional psychologist, I went directly into a traditional outpatient psychotherapy practice. And I found that the emphasis in traditional psychological treatment is to start from the pathology. What's wrong? What's not going the way that it should here? And we would give a diagnosis, we would create a treatment plan, bill the insurance company, and hopefully help people to get over whatever was going wrong. That's a quick version. Now, if you think of your mental health on a spectrum or a continuum, clear over here on the left end is the sick end. That's where we have diagnosis, pathology, treatment, all that fun stuff is over here. Positive psychology and personal development really focus on the other end of that spectrum. Now, to understand that, let's go to the middle first. Health. You'd think that health is the opposite of sick. I just put it in the middle, meaning not sick. So like with your physical health, you could be sick in bed with a fever, throwing up. There comes a time when you can get out of bed and you're not sick, but that doesn't mean you're truly fit, thriving, prospering. That's over here. The field of positive psychology and personal development and coaching is all about moving from wherever we are in this spectrum as far as we can get over to that thriving end of the spectrum. One of the most powerful psychology tools that we have as we work on our personal development is called metacognition. Metacognition is one of those fancy psychobabble terms. We make up words in psychology because it makes us feel smart. And this is one of them. If you break it down, cognition means thinking. Metacognition is a higher level. It's thinking about thinking. When you learn to observe your own thought process, to think about your thinking, it puts you in a position to actually change or control or steer that thinking. And some of our thinking does not serve us well. You probably know this because you hear some of the thoughts going through your mind, don't you? What if you could choose other thoughts that serve you better? Let me give you a quick example. How you doing next week? Well, it's a question. Do you have an answer? Notice something. You don't know. Now, you might have an answer to that. And some people, I'll ask the question, and they're like, well, I'm doing great, Dr. Paul. Or, I don't think, no, things are not going well. You don't know. You don't know how you're doing next week, but you've got some kind of a story, a prediction, an anticipation, maybe an expectation, right? All of that's imaginary. Imagination is thought. When you think things are going to get worse, how do you feel? Yeah, anxious, fearful, apprehensive. When you think things are going to get better and really believe it, how do you feel? Hope, excitement, encouragement. You don't know what's coming. When you think about your thinking, it puts you in a position where you can notice, first of all, oh yeah, I'm predicting worse things to come. Oh yeah, I don't know what's coming. I wonder if there's another thought that would serve me better. Here's another example. I'm so far behind. I've heard that one a lot too. I'm so far behind. I'm never going to catch up. Okay, let me ask you this. Do you know for sure that you're so far behind? Now, that might sound like a silly question. You're going to be like, well, I see the schedule and I'm behind it. What schedule? Like, do you have some cosmic connection to the grand calendar of all things where you know for sure that you're behind? No. So what schedule are you referring to? Oh, the one the school gave me, or the one my coach set up for me, or the one that I wrote up myself. Okay, notice that. And according to your own opinion, you're behind? What if I knew, because I'm a psychologist and I know stuff, what if I knew that you're right on schedule? And I say that you're right on schedule. Do you know that you are for sure? No. So notice you don't know either way. Pick a position. Metacognition allows you to do that. Until you see it as a choice, it's not. And you're going to roll with whatever your programming is. Whatever you're already used to thinking is going to come very naturally to you, and you're going to think that you're right. What does psychology have to do with personal development? Everything. It's the operating system for it. Have you subscribed yet to this channel? Now that I call it to your attention, would you just take a moment to hit that button? I would love to provide more of these ideas to you, and that's one way that you'll be sure to catch it. Remember to grab that model that I mentioned to you earlier. This is the operating instructions for the equipment of your own mind. Go to the URL on the screen, drpauljenkins.com/themodel, all one word, and I'll put this right in your inbox along with a little description of what this is all about. There's more where that came from. You don't have to do this alone. I've got your back. Thanks for watching today.